An if statement can also have an else statement that allows us to have one action, one piece of code that will execute for the true case, and another action, another piece of code that will execute for the opposite. So when the if condition, the Boolean expression here evaluates to true, this block of code will get executed, the if statement. Otherwise, if it's false, this statement will execute. And then whatever's outside of if else blocks of code will execute for both of them. So in this example, we have years, a variable years, which initially gets value of 1. And then we have another variable called principal, which in this code is calling a method calc principal passing in year. Don't worry about calling methods, you'll learn about that later. But I wanted for this example to have different values of principal based on the number of years so that the output makes sense. So we have within our if statement, if we run this program, it's going to evaluate years greater than 1, and it's going to be false, right? Because years is 1. So it's going to skip the if part, and it's going to go to the else block, and it's going to print the value of the investment after 1 year is, and then it's going to have a $sign. When the final statement gets executed, it's going to add that number, the principal. Now notice that the else statement is making an assumption. It's making an assumption that the variable years will be a positive number, right? Because if you put a negative, it's still going to run this else part, right? Because else doesn't check anything else. Else just prints as long as the expression is false. So if I run this with a 1, we'll get the value of the investment after 1 year is, and then it gives us the value that the principal is. But if I make this -1, right, it's still going to run the else because all it's checking is years greater than 1. So it's important to realize that, right? So the value of the investment after 1 year, it's still giving me that statement, but now we actually, because it was negative, we lost some money, right? So it doesn't make sense. So that's why we have this comment here that this code assumes the variable years must be positive number. And that's something that would have been checked someplace else in the code, right? If this piece of code was someplace else. All right, so let's look at what if the value is greater. So let's say we have 2, and if we run this, you'll see that now it's going to say the value of investment of 2 years is, and then whatever the principal is. So it executed this statement right here, because when it evaluates years is 2, it is greater than 1, so this Boolean expression is true, so the if statement gets executed. So why we have that, why we using the if else, right? Why we separate it. We separate it because we want to use the singular versus the plural number of years for our literal. Is there another way we could have done it? Absolutely. But if else is a very easy way of handling when we want to have something different, either in the execution or the printout.